New Zealand are in Group F, where they'll face Italy, Paraguay and Slovakia. They begin their campaign in Rustenburg against the Slovakians on the 15th of June. 5 days later, they face the Italians in Nelspruit. Then it's a trip to Polokwane to play Paraguay on the 24th.
It's a new era for us now, really. This is a new team with a new vision, and they're back on the world stage. Being part of it, the 82 team as a player, I think it's, history's a special thing in the game. We probably don't celebrate it enough in football, and I think, I think most people realise that we need to now. That'll always remain a special part, 82, but we've got something else now to look forward to, and that's another team at the World Cup.
Wellington, the capital city of New Zealand. The date, Saturday, the 14th of November, 2009. Crunch time for the country's FIFA World Cup dreams. 35,000 fans, the largest crowd to watch a football match in the country, filled the Westpac Stadium to the rafters, all desperate for the All-Whites to qualify for the finals for the first time since 1982. After a tense, goalless draw against Bahrain in the first leg of the Asia-Oceania playoff, Rory Fallon scored the decisive goal just before half-time in the return fixture.
For me, it was surreal. That was the word. Just an amazing, exciting time, and just to get that goal was just, it happened so quick, but it just meant so much for me and, for New Zealand football, and, it was just an amazing night.
It was a special moment too for coach Ricky Herbert, who'd been part of the only other New Zealand team to qualify for a FIFA World Cup finals nearly 3 decades before.
To be a national team player and to go to a World Cup, I thought was just an incredible place to be, and I'm pinching myself this morning to think I'm going back as a manager now of the national team.
The players of that 1982 all-white squad became national heroes. Many were present as guests of honour ahead of the pivotal game against Bahrain. Much has changed in football in the 28 years since the last New Zealand team graced the world stage. The coach of that 1982 team was Englishman John Adshead.
We were amateur players. I was a professional coach. I was actually getting paid for what I did, but the players certainly weren't professionals. And it was a reality. We'd heard comments that we shouldn't be in Spain. But when you really analysed it, we played 14 games. We travelled more miles, scored more goals. We'd set world records along the way. And who had the right to say that we hadn't earned the right to be there? And all in all, it was just something that's in your life that nobody can ever take away and you will never ever forget.
The New Zealand players were determined to make their mark, a daunting task bearing in mind their group opponents, Brazil, the Soviet Union and Scotland. John Adshead's side were well beaten in all 3 matches, firstly losing 5-2 to the Scots, a 3-0 defeat at the hands of the Soviet Union, followed in the second game. Finally, in front of 42,000 fans, they were beaten 4-0 by Brazil. But despite the ultimately disappointing results, the 82 side still commands respect in New Zealand as a whole and provides a yardstick for the country's latest generation of players. Adshead's assistant in 1982 was Kevin Fallon, father of present-day hero Rory.
82 was an amazing year. I was born that year, but my dad and John Adshead took New Zealand to the first World Cup, and the 82 team will always be revered in people's hearts, and they're our heroes, they're my heroes, and they'll never be forgotten.
New Zealand's progress to the 2010 tournament was facilitated by FIFA's decision to ratify Australia's migration to the Asian Football Confederation back in 2005. The All-Whites were now odds-on to top Oceania's qualifying pool and progress to an intercontinental playoff. The team only played 6 matches before their meeting with Bahrain, winning twice against New Caledonia and Vanuatu and once against Fiji before losing the inconsequential reverse fixture. The All Whites topped the group with 15 points, 7 clear of New Caledonia.
Decent, we knocked the ball around tonight, and we just want to be patient. You know, we might not have a lot of the ball next November, so no, very pleased tonight.
The majority of Ricky Herbert's squad play their club football domestically or in Australia's A-League. But with some of his better players scattered far and wide in England, Scotland and the USA, it was no easy task for the coach to get his squad together on a regular basis in the 11-month lead-up to the two-legged playoff with Bahrain. Everyone was present and correct, however, for the first leg in October, a match that ended in a goalless draw. A fortuitous result for the Kiwis, bearing in mind the number of opportunities squandered by the home side. Keeper Mark Paston played his part on more than one occasion, and so too did the woodwork. So honours even, it would all be decided in the second leg in Wellington. In a country dominated by rugby union, football was once again capturing the nation's imagination. Just over a month after the first encounter, fans flocked in their thousands to support the team. Skipper Ryan Nelson plays his club football for English Premier League side Blackburn Rovers. He led the New Zealand side out for its most important game in a generation. Ricky Herbert could just watch and hope. Bahrain, who'd lost out to Trinidad and Tobago at this stage 4 years earlier, showed their intent right from the off. But it was Chris Killen who nearly put the All Whites ahead after 19 minutes, his volley rattling the crossbar. Ryan Nelson needed all his top-flight experience to inspire the Kiwis and keep Bahrain at bay. And keeper Paston was once again at his best. Close on half-time, Leo Bertos swung in a corner which was met by Rory Fallon's powerful header. The All Whites had the lead. The drama intensified 5 minutes into the second half when Tony Lochhead fouled Abdullah Omar inside the box. Penalty to Bahrain and the chance for a precious away goal. But Paston guessed right to save Saeed Adnan's penalty. New Zealand was still in front and would remain so to the joy of nearly 40,000 in the stadium and an entire nation watching on TV, which for a short time had forgotten its first love, rugby. For the second time in its history, New Zealand had qualified for the FIFA World Cup finals.
Oh, absolutely incredible, mate. Dream come true, you know. Look at them, it's unbelievable. What a night to remember. What a night to remember.
Been in some pretty cool atmospheres in my time, but this is way up there. This is an incredible night. Unbelievable what we've gone through in 4 years. Hey, we're back on the world stage. This it means everything.
Yeah, hopefully there's more to come in the World Cup.